welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing a book haul. So this is my big 5K celebration book haul. I talked about it on Twitter and in my Smudathon vlog that when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I would do a huge book haul to celebrate. So this is what this is. But I do want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have subscribed and just watched my videos over the past 3 years. Like, I truly do appreciate it. It means so much to me. There are not enough words for me to express just how happy and grateful I am, so thank you. I truly do appreciate it, and I can't believe I have 5K. It's oddly like overwhelming but like exciting, and it just makes me really happy. I don't know. So thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. It is just so amazing, and I'm just so happy and so grateful. Oh yes, and I will have my 5K Q&A that I did promise I would do. That is coming. It's probably going to be like the second or third week of July. I just want to like knock out all of my like wrap up on topic videos and all of that. You guys will obviously see like the announcement for the Q&A, so yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the haul. I have about 27 books I think to haul. I almost was gonna buy 30, but I still had to like control myself a little bit. So yeah, I have a couple of pre-orders. I have a couple of books from Amazon and Indigo and Book Outlet even. So yes, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So first, I'm going to haul 4 books that I've already shown in my May wrap up, and I think 2 of them were in my mid-year book freakout tag because I haven't technically hauled them yet, so I figured I would just do them really quickly. So the first one is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I did read this in May, so I talked about it in my May wrap up, but this is Christina Lauren's newest release, and it is a cute vacation, big dating, contemporary. It was super adorable. I really liked it. And then I have Passion on Park Avenue by Lauren Lane. This is the first book in her new series, the Central Park Pact series. I think this is actually my first physical Lauren Lane book. Yeah, it is. Wow. I love Lauren Lane. She writes fantastic romance contemporary, and this came out back in May, and this I did read in May, so I talked about it in my wrap-up. I did like it. And then I have The Bride Test by Helen Huang. This is another new romance contemporary. I read this back in May as well and really enjoyed it. Didn't love it as much as A Kiss Quotient, but still really cute. I really liked it. And then the other one is Always Red by Isabel Ronan. This is the sequel to Chasing Red, and I read this back in May as well and really liked it. Definitely loved it more than the first book. This is a new adult college romance. Very dramatic, over the top, but I really liked it. Okay, so now on to some of the books that I haven't talked about yet at all. The first 4 I bought from Book Outlet. So usually whenever I buy from Book Outlet, I try to get the free shipping. But for this order, there were 2 books that I really wanted, and it was like the reason I was making this order, and then I just ended up buying like 2 other books. I didn't get the free shipping, but I just at the point was kind of like, I don't want to buy other books that like I'm not really wanting right now just to get the free shipping, so I didn't bother with it. But I did get 4 books from Book Outlet. The one that I really wanted, and I talked about in my last book haul, I think, like this was what I wanted to buy in Book Outlet, but then it sold out. Finally got it, and that is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This I have been really wanting to read because a few of my Twitter friends really love this book and they want me to read it, so I finally bought it, and I'm very excited to read this. I don't really know much about this, but that it's a dark Little Mermaid retelling. I think the mermaid in here like kills humans or something like that. I don't know. I do want to go into it a little blind, so I don't know, but I'm excited. I also love that green. That is so pretty. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. Hopefully I'll read it soon. And the other book I really wanted was Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. This is like a contemporary mixed with like paranormal-ish, I guess. It has like witchiness. I don't know. I've heard really good things about this, so I wanted to give it a shot. Plus, I love this cover. It's so cute. I really wanted this, so I can't wait to read this one as well. And then I got 2 more books from Book Outlet. The next one I have already read, and that is A Beautiful Wedding by Jamie McGuire. This is a beautiful disaster novella. This just follows Abby and Travis and their wedding. I read this years and years and years ago, but since rereading Beautiful Disaster, I wanted to own this. And the last book I got from Book Outlet was More Than Words by Mia Sheridan. I recently read Archer's Voice, which I will talk about in my June wrap-up, and absolutely loved it. And I have another book of hers, Most of All You, but this one was on Book Outlet, so I just went ahead and bought it because I have finally read one of her books and really enjoyed it, so I figured I will probably enjoy this one as well. So I got it, can't wait to read it. I have no idea what this is about. I think maybe it has to do with music. I don't know, we'll see. The next 3 books I got from Value Village. So I think at the end of May, they were having a sale on their books. I think it was either 30 or 50% off. I can't really remember. But I went and I found 3 books. I actually found a lot more, but a lot of them weren't in the best condition, and sometimes I would rather just pay like more money for like a beautiful untouched copy, so I put some back. But these ones barely look touched at all, so I went ahead and grabbed them. And that is the Hacker series by Meredith Wild. I have the first 3. So the first one is Hardwired, the second one is Hard Pressed, and then the third one is Hardline. I think there's maybe 2 more in this series, but these books, they barely look touched. Like, I don't even think the person read them and they donated it. So I went ahead and got it because I thought they weren't touched. They look in really good condition. And these cost me $9 for all 3. $9 in total, which is crazy. So I just went ahead and got them. I don't even know if I'm going to like the first book, but I figured 3 of them were there. I would grab them. I think I've read 1 or 2 books by Meredith Wild and didn't really like them, but I'm open to giving her another shot, so hopefully I'll enjoy these ones. And then next are my 4 pre-orders from Indigo for the month. So the first one is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. This I will talk about in my June wrap-up, but I absolutely loved this. I really loved it. It's one of my favorite books of the year. It was just so good. It deals with really heavy topics, but I feel like it handles them pretty well. I just really liked the characters and the romance, and I just thought both characters were really sweet, and I just really loved it. This follows Kristen, who is planning her best friend's wedding, and she clashes with the best man, Josh, who is a super nice guy, but their first meeting is not so good, and then they slowly form a friendship. It's just so wonderful. I really loved it. Then I have Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. This I also read in June, so I'll talk about it in my June wrap-up again. I did like this as well. This follows Georgie, who has been in love with her brother's best friend forever, and he is struggling with his downfall in his career, and she kind of helps him get back on his feet, and there's a job opportunity for him, but he has a bad reputation, so Georgie suggests that they like fake date. The next book I bought was Storm and Fury by Jennifer Armitage. This is technically a spin-off of the Dark Elements series, but you don't have to read that series before you read this one, but it does make the experience a little bit better. This follows Zane's story, and this is like a YA fantasy paranormal. It deals with gargoyles and all of that good stuff. I really liked it. I'll talk about it in my June wrap-up as well. And the last pre-order I have is Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Kelly Link, and Robin Wisserman. I think I'm saying that right. This is the newest bind-up of novellas in the Shadowhunter world. Very excited to read this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I'm excited. I've heard really good things about it, and I believe that this follows Gem. Hopefully I will read this as soon as possible, but I'm very excited to have this in my hands, and then it's going to go right on this shelf. Now, the rest of the books are just books that I wanted to buy and I wanted to have a physical copy of. So the first two I bought from Indigo, and they're both mass market paperbacks. The first one is Shadow Rider by Christine Feehan. This is a paranormal mafia romance, sort of. I'm currently in the middle of reading it, actually. I started it and then put it down. I am liking it. I just got distracted by other books that came out, so I ended up putting this down, but I will hopefully finish this soon. The third or fourth book just came out in this series, and I really want to read that one, but I kind of wanted to read the first book just to see. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. And the other book I got is Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. This is the first book in her Changeling series, I think. I have heard so many great things about this series over the years. I want to get back into reading more paranormal romance. I feel like I haven't read it in a really long time, and I know that the series is really long, and there's like a spin-off series or a couple spin-off series, and I just feel like I need something new to read, and I've heard nothing but good things about this series. So I really do want to try to read it, and hopefully I'll like it. Okay, and the next 9 books I all bought from Amazon. And all of these I have already read before but wanted to own physical copies of. That's usually how it is for me. If I love a book so much that I read on my Kindle, I end up buying a physical copy, especially if it's self-published. So the first one I got was Tinsel by Daphne Perry. I've talked about this a lot because I really loved this book, and I just really loved this book. It made me cry. It was super emotional and good, and I really loved the character development and the characters and the romance. I just really liked it. This follows Sophia, who is very wealthy and she has a rich family, and she is just struggling to find her passion in life and to find her path. And she goes to the small town where her brother's living, and she's deciding to take a vacation there, and she kind of starts working in that town. She works at the bar with Dakota, who is the bartender. So they slowly start a fling because she's obviously not going to stay there, and they both know that. They just spend more time together and quickly fall in love. It's just so beautiful, and to see the characters grow and find themselves, and I just really loved it. And then I have book 2 and book 3 in the Kimura Chronicles. I loved these 2 books so much that I desperately needed physical copies of them. So Twisted Emotions is book 2 and Twisted Pride is book 3. They are so pretty. I am so happy to have them. Also, Twisted Pride is massive. I didn't realize how big this book was, but yes, I'm loving Cora Riley's books lately, so I had to get both of these because I love them. These are my 3rd and 4th favorite books that I've read by Cora Riley so far, and these are just mafia romances. I really loved them, and I'm so happy to have physical copies of them and to have them on my shelves. I'm so happy. The next one is The Risk by Elle Kennedy. I loved this book. I actually forgot to mention this in my mid-year book freakout tag as one of my favorite books of the year. I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but this is one of my favorite books of 2019 so far. I really loved it. I loved the romance. I loved the characters. This is a college hockey romance, and this is the 2nd book in the series. I loved it way more than the first book, so I'm really happy to have a copy of this, and the paperback is so pretty. I love the blue. This next book is actually kind of an old favorite, and that is Stepbrother Dearest by Penelope Ward. This I read years and years and years ago. I feel like I read this around when it came out, maybe 2014, 2015. Really loved it. I have reread this book like 3 times. It's not the best written book in the world, but I just really loved it. It's kind of a bully romance, but it's more like enemies to lovers, sort of. Okay, my camera is at a weird angle. I had to stop filming for a couple minutes. Anyways, yeah, I read this book years ago, really loved it, and just decided to finally buy a physical copy of it. Yeah, it's a really short, fun, dramatic book, and I really loved it. The next one I bought is My Life in Shambles by Karina Halley. This I really loved. I read this back, I think in May. Really loved it. It is an emotional, beautiful, good book. I just really liked it, and I love the cover. The cover is so pretty. I just had to own it because it's just so gorgeous. And this follows Valerie, who goes on a trip with her sisters to Ireland. Yes, Ireland, and she meets a famous rugby player who kind of has a secret that he's holding on to, and there's something going on with his family that essentially he has to fake date Valerie, and it's super cute and emotional, and I loved it. The next one I have is The Bad Guy by Celia Aaron. I also talked about this in my mid-year book freakout tag, that this was a big surprise. I really enjoyed this, and I enjoyed it enough to buy a physical copy of it. This is a dark romance. It follows a sociopath who kidnaps this girl to make her fall in love with him, and it's very dark but really well written and just really well told. I just thought it was a fantastic dark romance. The next one is another old favorite that I read back in like 2014. Finally decided to buy a physical copy of, and that is Finding Dandelion by Lex Martin. I mean, it's been years since I've read this, so I don't know if I'd feel the same way about it now, but I feel like I would because I really did like it. Just remember really loving the romance. I wanted to own it in a physical copy because I do have Dearest Clementine somewhere. Where is that? Oh, it's behind me right there. So I'm really happy to have this, and hopefully I'll reread it soon because I really do enjoy Lex Martin's books. And the last book that I have for this book haul is Untouchable by Sam Mariano. I read this back in May and really enjoyed it. The first like 3 or 4 chapters I wasn't sure about it. I talked about it in my May wrap up, but I ultimately still really enjoyed it and wanted a physical copy of it. This is a dark bully romance. I do want to say like trigger warnings for sexual assaults. There is, I think, yeah, an author's note before the book, so just bear that in mind. Aside from like the first couple chapters, it was fantastic. I really freaking loved it, and I am super happy to have a physical copy of it because it was really great. So that was it for this big 5K celebration book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know some of your recent book buys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.